fantastic day. So, I haven't done a watch thing in decades. It almost feels like, but we're here today with one of those. One second. Okay, I haven't done one of those in like a long time. Just making sure that we're live. But this is the Champions League, all right. As I said, I kind of mentioned this already, but like, I'm busy. I'm very, very busy. When I say I'm busy, it means I'm not busy at all. It means that I'm saying I'm busy just for the sake that I can say that I'm busy. But this is the Champions League, and the Champions League always has that special occasion. 10-0 for Bayern. I don't think... Yeah, see, I'm very confident, right? I've always been told I'm overconfident. I'm too confident. But even I wouldn't go that far. Even I wouldn't go quite that far. I think 6-0, honestly. And granted, I am also someone that is generally quite spot on with my predictions. I do want to say that. I do want to stress that I am generally very, very good with my predictions. Some things that I'm just thinking about right now are... I mean, I made this prediction a few times, and every time I've made this prediction, it's come true. That we're going to beat Arsenal 5-1. I've said this like a few times, and every time I said this, we did it. What would you do if Chelsea come back? I don't think they will. I think they will maybe like put up a decent fight, but I don't think there's going to be anything more to it. Let me just find out which... Okay, it's this one. Let me just record the game as well, just so I don't forget. And hop over to the game, so once it starts. We watch Barcelona match, maybe the second half. Yes, I mean, I'll have it on. I'll have it on, but I don't know whether I'll be watching it, like, thoroughly. I'll have it on, like, a different monitor, maybe that monitor or this monitor. But, like, I probably won't, you know, just focus on it, I guess. My thing is this, alright? My thing is this. I think we're going to play very, very good today. I have a very good feeling. I generally have a very good feeling in this team since Flick took over. But I also do think that we have been playing very, very solid. And just from that perspective, I do think that we are a very, very well-drilled team. And that's why I don't think Chelsea are going to come back. We've had a lot of tough tests this season. And I felt like we've always overcome them. Sag mal einen Satz auf Deutsch, kurz bitte. I mean, I just read that, so I guess that counts. But like we've always overcome our challenges, so I don't think there is really any need for us to realistically worry, because I do think that we are a very good team. The thing about it is, you know, there are a lot of good teams, but there aren't a lot of good and consistent teams. I think we're a good and consistent team. That's why I don't think we're going to lose. That's why I think we're good. That's why I think we're actually going to be A-okay in this match, because we are just a team that is going to do the job. Now, looking at, let me have a quick look at the lineup. Let me put the lineup over here so I can have a look at it there. Okay, so looking at the lineup, this is from Bayern's perspective. Do you think Bayern will win the Champions League? Any other year, I would have said yes, 100% confident. And I know I'm always the overconfident. I get that, right? But I think any other year, I would have said yes. The one thing I don't like this year is the one-off games. That is really an issue that I have. If we had like away and a home, I'd be like, okay, A-okay, easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Do I think Bayern will win the Champions League? I think Bayern will do very, very well. I think Bayern will prove. I think Bayern will get to the final. I'll say that much. I think Bayern will get to the final. Do I think they will win? It depends who we play. There's actually no team that I think is like good, like worryingly good. I think a lot of teams are decent, but I don't think there's a team besides us that really is like peak, hitting peak performance. But I do want to say that, you know, in a one-off, which is why, like, you know, I think we get to the final. Every other year, I think I would have been more confident. But one-off games worry me a tiny bit. One-off games worry me a tiny bit, because anything can happen in those one-off games. You could have a bad performance, and quite frankly, you know, they could have a great performance, and we would lose because of that. Granted, we're also very used to one-off games, because, you know, the DFB Pokal is a one-off game every time at the knockout stages. But I'm just a little bit worried, alright? I can't lie. I am just a little bit worried. I think we'll get to the Champions League final. Beyond that, I think the Champions League final is going to be a 60-40 in our favor, regardless of which team we play. That's that's as far as I can go. Steelers Shockers. Boateng and Paris is not good enough for this level. Should get okay. Bayern City in the final. I think people are sleeping a little bit. I think people are underestimating Napoli and Barcelona a little bit. I know, you know, Manchester City beat Real Madrid yesterday. I get that, right? And so people are like on riding the high, but I think Real Madrid was very, very poor. I think Real Madrid was very, very poor. They have been, surprisingly, a good league team, which is generally not what they're good for, and they're generally a very good cup team. But I can't say that they weren't poor. They were very, very poor yesterday. Manchester City was good yesterday, but honestly, they should have had easily 2 or 3 more goals, Manchester City. And the fact that they didn't just shows to me a little bit, a few signs that they're not as clinical as they're not as clinical, and thus they're not going to be as dangerous as a lot of other people might suggest. Because Real Madrid, despite how bad they were, still had a lot of chances. And if they had taken them, you know, a better team would have had more chances and taken the chances, and they would have won that game or drawn that game. Didn't happen yesterday to Real Madrid, but I think Manchester City is a good team. Just maybe not as good as people say. That depends. That depends. That depends. Do I think they can make it to the final? Yes. Do I think they're this amazing team that everyone is praising right now because of yesterday? They're a great team. Don't get me wrong, but I don't think they're a top tier team. Right? There's levels to this. Right? There's levels to this. I think they're a great team. I don't think they're a top tier team. That's my thing. But anyway, before I read any more comments, let me just have a quick look at the lineup. So let me move the lineup over here, actually. So Bayern against Chelsea, the lineup, I mean, Neuer in goal, that much is a guarantee. Yeah, that's pretty much the only guarantee we have in the squad, as well as Kimmich, Boateng, Alaba, and Davies. I think most of us kind of expected that, but that back four, Lucas Hernandez obviously just really came back. Sula also really just came back, so that makes sense. You know, I'm not really sweating that. I think Boateng is a great choice for this game. I think he's got that experience, and he knows how to which is actually, I should have probably mentioned that. He knows how to play a great long ball. And the reason why that's important, if any of you guys watched the Chelsea versus Arsenal game that happened last week, I think it was. I think last week, either last week or 2 weeks ago. Time is like all over the place at the moment, honestly, with the quarantine. But like, I think if you watched the Chelsea versus Arsenal game that happened last week or so, Chelsea were caught out a lot of the times through a long ball. Through just a long, and this is why I don't open the windows. I hate it. Especially at night. There's a fly in here somewhere. But Arsenal caused a lot of problems for Chelsea through a long ball, and Boateng is perfect for that. You know, you can play that long ball, and you have Davies who can, you know, run with such speed that nobody else is going to catch him, which we saw in the first leg as well. Then you've got Goretzka and Thiago. Goretzka has had an absolutely stunning return to football. So he's doing very, very well. No, actually, it's not a fly. It's a bee. I'm gonna have trouble sleeping today. Why is a bee in here? Anyway, Goretzka, he's a goal threat. I think he's actually going to score today. I have a very good feeling. He's been scoring quite frequently. And Thiago, just to kind of cool the game down and to also initiate a prolonged attacking force against Chelsea. So I think that midfield is quite, you know, what I expected, especially with Kimmich at right back, kind of what I expected. And then Gnabry, Müller, those two are always going to be a guarantee. Perisic instead of Coutinho, I think I would have done that choice as well. I know people probably like I can't stop looking at the bee right now. My door is open, so please leave. Okay. So Perisic, I think I would have taken it as well. He's just a lot more. You know what you're gonna get with Perisic. That's the thing. You know what you're gonna get with Perisic. Whereas Coutinho, you know, he's had his time at Bayern so far. His time at Bayern so far has been very, very mixed. He's had very good games. He's had very poor games, and I think Perisic, who has been average really, is better than having someone that could be hot and cold. You can always bring in Coutinho in the second half if Perisic just has a really, really bad game. And then obviously Lewandowski, I mean, that's also a given alongside Müller, Neuer, and honestly at this point I'd say the rest of the squad, honestly. But besides the midfield, I think our squad is pretty much always a given. I think Kimmich is always going to play, Davies is always going to play, Alaba is always going to play, Boateng is that one asterisk where, like, okay, Sula can play, oh, okay, Hernandez can play. Then the midfield is generally the one thing that constantly switches around with, obviously, Kimmich, Goretzka, Thiago, Cholizo. I mean, we have plenty of midfield. We have players that can also go into midfield, so we have plenty of players for those positions. And then you have Gnabry and Müller, who I think are always a set. And in this game, I think Coleman would have been a set as well if he wasn't injured. So I think the squad is pretty much exactly what most of us would have probably expected. Let's have a look at what some of you are saying. Who do you think will be hardest to win from these two teams if they qualify, Barca or Napoli? See, Barca have been absolutely atrocious. I know there is this factor, all right. There is this factor with football where the name itself, the history of a team itself, is the reason why people praise that team. A good example would be us last season. Another good example would be generally Real Madrid this season. Or Barcelona, I think also this season, where people don't even watch them. They don't watch them play, but because, okay, that's Barcelona. All right, they're gonna win. They're gonna make it far. Or oh, that's Real Madrid. Of course, they're gonna win it and they're gonna make it far. Or Bayern Munich. Of course, they're gonna win it. They're gonna make it far. That's those kind of things where people who don't even watch those teams play consistently, just based off of the name, they're like, whoa, that team, one of the top contenders, which I think is a very bad way to do it, because teams have ups and downs. That's why managers get fired and players get signed. And I think Barcelona has been very, very poor in the league this season, and quite frankly also in the Champions League this season. So I'm actually more worried, surprisingly, despite Barcelona having the X factor, I am more worried about Napoli. And that's me being honest. I know, as I said, Barcelona have the X factor. They have Messi, all right? They have Messi, X factor. Beating him, and I'm saying him, not Barcelona, is difficult. And that's the issue. So I can definitely see Barcelona win today, make it through today, solely based off of Messi. Solely based off of Messi. If it wasn't for him, I'd say Napoli quite comfortably. We might have a better chance of winning against Barcelona than Napoli. Yeah, I definitely think so. I definitely think so. Napoli is just a better... They're I don't want to say better team. Individually, Barcelona has the better players for most positions, but they're more... But Napoli has a much better unity. Let's call it that. A much better unity. They're much more cohesive as a team, and I think that's really what it boils down to. Varane was a liability because he didn't have a Ramos to help him. Look, Varane is, from what I've been told, I've not seen Real Madrid all too much, granted, but from what I've been told, he's like one of their most consistent players of the season, and that despite often playing on his own. Alright, so I don't quite want to say that it's because Ramos wasn't there. I think he just had a bad game. Do I think he's suddenly like the worst player ever, or fraud, or whatever people call him nowadays? Nah, I don't think so. I just think he had a bad game. Players have bad games, and that's just natural for football, Everyone's going to have a bad game. Everyone's going to have a great game. Football. It's football, and that's what it is. It's football, People can have an off day. It's just, with defenders, when they have an off day, it's most of the time very, very bad. If Lewandowski has a bad day today, everyone's going to forget it by tomorrow. When he scores a goal, everyone's going to forget it, because the thing is with Lewandowski, if he has a bad day today, then you can have the other members of the squad help out. Müller can score, Gnabry can score, Perisic can score, Goretzka can score. The thing with defenders is, if they have a bad day, it is just all ruined. Which is why I always say my favorite player of all time is always Philipp Lahm, because he was, in my opinion, the most consistent player of all time. I know he's not one of the most flashiest player of all time, the most decisive player of all time. He doesn't score these crucial, important goals, but to me, his consistency is what I admired so much. Just a beacon of consistency, to be quite honest. Which which is very much not, which is very difficult. I think even more difficult than having a world-class season. I think being consistent throughout your whole career is much more difficult than having, you know, a season where you break every single record in existence. But that's just me though. That's just me though. That's just me though. Don't take it for granted. They knocked out Liverpool. Liverpool. I mean, sure. Look, before they were close to winning the league, you know, they were actually very good. But you give and you take, I guess. You give and you take. You know, any team can beat any team. That's kind of the nature of the Champions League. But I also think that it's just a matchup thing as well, which is quite difficult sometimes. A matchup. You know, for example, we can. Well, okay, let's go back in time a little bit. 2012 Dortmund. Not 2013. 2012. We couldn't beat them. Straight up, we couldn't beat them. They were always. It seemed like they were always one step ahead of us, right? That was a matchup thing. They weren't the better team than us, but we just couldn't beat them that year. It's just a matchup thing, which is obviously a year later when we did beat them, it was all so much more satisfying. But there's a matchup thing, you know. It's just one of those things. This game is anyway. It's just a pre-game. That's perfect. What are your thoughts on Sané? Who will be our front line for the most part next season? I mean, basically what you expect this season, except with Sané in there instead of Coleman. I think he's gonna take Coleman's spot. You could make the argument that you could play on either wing, yes, but I think Gnabry's too much of a big game player for his spot to be taken, which is why I think he's gonna score today. He's had in the Champions League, he's had a great season. In the Bundesliga, he's had a mediocre season. And I know people don't want to accept that because, you know, when you think of Gnabry this season, you always think of, oh, the game against Tottenham, or the game against Chelsea, the first game. You know, so he always really appears in the Champions League, which is why I said I think he's going to score today, and then he's going to be on Twitter or Instagram later today, and he's going to be like, haha, London is red. Because he's basically he shows up for these games just so he can post on Instagram and Twitter. And hey, I'm okay with it, alright? I'll be totally honest, I'm okay with it. But he's been fairly inconsistent this season, where I wish he was a little bit more consistent in the Bundesliga, but it's fine. It's fine. I think our team won't really change all that much this summer, this transfer window. I think the impact of Corona, I know we're a very stable club, and unlike other clubs, you know, we don't have to really lay off any member of staff or hold any member of staff from getting money or so on and so forth, getting a salary. That's not really the case with us, but I don't think we're gonna make, you know, massive signings this transfer window. It's just not gonna happen. Corona is a significant impact, and I know people are saying, well, you've got hundreds and hundreds of millions, how could that be a significant impact? Fact is, you don't always just have hundreds of millions in your bank. You have staff to pay, you have, you know, bills to pay, not really any debts, I guess, but you have bills to pay, salaries to pay, and I think that's just the way it is. So I don't think we're going to make any massive signings this season, despite all the transfer news, and I think we're just going to have a good, solid transfer window, but nothing groundbreaking. Who do you think will be a harder team to face from two teams? I already mentioned that. I think you will smack us again, lol, but come on, ya Blues. Well, Ben Loud, let's just hope for a good game. Let's just hope for a good game. But you know what I'm thinking. I already made my preview, okay? I don't want to talk too much about that. I think my score might sound disrespectful and so on and so forth, but it's actually what I generally think is going to happen. As I said, either a 2-3 or a 6-0. I kind of have, like, those two scores in my head. And I know it's kind of a cop-out. Oh, yeah, it's either going to be a high-scoring game or it's going to be a very tight game. I don't know. I think it's going to happen. I think the first 20 minutes will basically decide how this game will go. If we score in the first 20 minutes, I think it's going to be a 6-0. If Chelsea actually plays very decent in the first 20 minutes or so and is actually able to hold out, I might have to close the window. But if Chelsea is able to play good and score or, you know, hold us out for the first 20 minutes, I think it could be a very close game. I think the first 20 minutes will decide everything. Who would you least want to face in the final? Huh, that's a great question. Who would I least want to face in the final? Oh, that's a fantastic question. If you asked me, which you have, I guess, but I think I would honestly go with. That's a great question. That's a great question. I can't even think of a team that I don't want to face. Manchester City. Manchester City. The team I would least want to face is Manchester City, and I'll tell you why right now. Pep. The not so much the game itself, but all the pre-match talk, all the post-match talk, you know, the talk leading up to the Champions League final, if we were to face Manchester City in the final, would be so obnoxious I wouldn't be able to bear with it. Like, I wouldn't make a... I would basically be gone, right? Some may argue I'm already good, but I would basically be gone. You wouldn't see a single video of me for that period, because it would just be like, oh, Pep couldn't do it with Bayern, but now he's going to do it with Manchester City. You know, all that talk would just be so obnoxious. But yeah, that's my thing. I don't actually know the route of, you know, who's next and so on and so forth. I haven't checked that for this specific question, but do you think Bayern needs Thiago next season? Thiago might leave. Bayern doesn't need Thiago. Personally, though, I want him to stay, but I don't think he is going to stay. I don't think he is going to stay, to be completely honest. You know, but I would want him to stay at Bayern, but I don't think he is going to stay. To me, he's just a player that I just enjoy seeing play. He's just a player that brings me a lot of joy. The way he moves about, the way he plays, it just... everything that kind of one, which is why I was such a big fan of Douglas Costa. Yeah, Douglas Costa. You know, because he had this kind of flair to him, this kind of just interesting bob and vibe, and that's kind of what Thiago has as well. Obviously not to the same degree, but just a little bit of spice. I don't have salt to do the salt bay thing, but he just has a little bit of spice that I like. And quite frankly, I would be sad if he leaves, but it's football. Players are always going to leave, players are always going to join, so I just know the team is going to do very well. We have enough players to compensate Thiago, and if he leaves, I'm sure we're going to get, you know, replacements as well, or maybe promote some players from the youth team, and that's just the way I see it. Reventon, yo Prince, how you doing, Phil? How are you doing? Hope you're having a good day. Hopefully we'll have an even better day after this game. UEFA and European football recognise the dedication and sacrifice of all key workers who are battling the pandemic. Our words are few but heartfelt. Hashtag thank you. True words have never been spoken, although it's kind of ironic coming from UEFA writing all that. By the way, once the game starts, I will be looking over there. That's where my TV is. So, just like this. So, just so you get a good idea. You're going to be looking at my side eye. But, although I might change that around. Who knows? But UEFA's kind of hypocritical with that message. The same thing as like the Black Lives Matter message, honestly. It's just very hypocritical, because at the end of the day, you know, you look at some of the things that they've done, some of the things that they are allowing that to be done, and you're just like, yeah, your messages are all, you know, nice and good and whatnot, but at the end of the day, I don't know if they hold any meaning, if they hold any weight. And that's just the way it is. But anyway, we'll face City next game, dude. Oh, is that next game? Wouldn't it be semis? Because next game we're facing, I think, the winner of Barcelona and Napoli, if I remember correctly. It's been a while since I saw that, but I think that's what it was. So it wouldn't be them; it would be after. Okay, still, I guess you could say all the KO games at the moment are finals, because they're all after this a one knockout game. So take it like that. I can't wait, sarcastically speaking, I can't wait for us to have to hear about, oh, Pep Guardiola couldn't do it at Bayern, can he do it at Manchester City? I can't wait for that. I'm just so looking forward to that. Yeah. Yeah. We can only play them in the semi. Okay, semi, that's what it is. Alright. Is Kimmich a world-class midfielder in your opponent? Yes, but not a world-class right-back. I still stand by that. I still stand by it to this day. I know people are like, you're just BSing, alright? Kimmich's a world-class right-back. I think he's a good right-back. I don't think he's a world-class right-back. I think he's a very, very good midfielder. World-class, Yeah, I'll go as far as say world class. I think he's in the upper echelon of midfielders. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'll be right back. Just let me set up one thing. First of all, the stopwatch so you can actually see the timer of where we're watching. And second of all, let me just move things a little bit around. I'll see you guys in a second. But the Chelsea lineup is also exactly what I expected, to be completely honest. I didn't expect Chelsea to line up any differently. So I think ultimately it'll be a good game, which is exactly what I am hoping for and looking forward to. But obviously, we'll see how it all goes out, how it all plays out. Okay. So, first of all, hi. Is that better? Is that worse? I don't know. Might be better. Might be worse. Might be significantly better. There we go. And let me turn on this. Hi. Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're all having a fantastic day. So, let me make sure that I can see the remainder of the chat, because we are about to start now. Alright, so, as I said, my prediction is very, very simple. Prince, what's the thing in your background? It's a microphone. That's a light that I just picked up yesterday. It's a almost like a studio light. I think that's what they're called. I just bought it because it's a soft light. And yeah, that's what it was. That's what it is, and that's a microphone. So let's see how we actually line up then. My worry is that we're gonna take a passive approach. That's really my worry. A passive approach rather than a more aggressive one, which I think would be the much better approach to take here. But we have the experience to do both, so I'm not that ultimately worried. Ooh, no, that's not a... Ooh, no. Nah, Lewandowski? Alright, Gnabry? He's not going to get there in time. Alright. But good start. Good friggin' start, I have to say. Good start. Let me just pop out the chat a little so I can actually move it here. Yeah. Alright, that's much better. Someone has a place to watch the game online. Sorry, I can't help you with that, considering it's on my TV. So I'm afraid I can't help you with that, my friend. But yeah, we're already starting off good. This is exactly what I was hoping to see. Just a good attacking approach. Already our first corner. It's all going swimmingly. All going smoothly. Come on. A little bit of a long shot to nowhere. Alright. I mean, only 2 minutes played, but already we have a corner and some good opportunity. So I'm all for it. We seem good. Actually, 19, 20. There we go. Now it's completely synced. Yes, now it's completely synced. Let's have a look. How are we lining up then? Not lining up, but more so how are we setting up? I like Goretzka. Just a very patient approach from our squad right now, which is actually very, very nice. Are spectators allowed now in football games? No. Not yet. Not yet. Give it a few more, honestly, months, and then we probably will be allowed to go into the games. Which is actually kind of funny. Ah, Coram, how are you doing? How are you doing? Hope you're well. But yeah, spectators aren't allowed. Okay, there's someone else screaming outside. the pass was a little poor there. The pass was a little poor there, honestly. Could have gone much better. Most certainly. If that was a better pass, we could have easily had a shot. At least a shot on goal. I definitely might have to close the window if it wasn't so friggin' warm in Manchester. Oh, hit me. Nah. But we definitely, it seemed like we're definitely taking, we're definitely attacking them through their left, our right. That's what it seemed like so far. That's been our primary target so far, which actually makes sense here, considering that Perisic is playing on the left and he's not really a regular in the team. So we're really focusing on the speedy aspect of Gnabry on the right, which is fun. I say that. I say that and we attack through the left. Gnabry? Too much. Too much from Gnabry. Alright. Alright, I like this game. I like this game. Let me close the window. Give me 1 second, lads. Actually, I don't want to look away right now because we're attacking right now. So wait a few seconds. That is exactly how I was hoping we'd play. Exactly what I was hoping for. Is Kimmy on right back? Yes. Kimmy's playing on the right back today. Because Pavard is injured. Pavard is out for this game. But if you notice Kimmich's movement, he always, I mean, even as a right back, he always goes on the inside rather than on the outside. So you might as well call him a midfielder if you want. But his position in this game is a right back, which is why he's much further to the back. Perisic! He should have taken that. I know he wanted to lay it off to Lewandowski or Müller, whoever was behind him. It was difficult to see there, but he should have taken that. He should have taken that for himself. Be a little bit more greedy. And here comes Chelsea. That should be a good battle. Nice one, Davies. Davies, nice. Good. Chelsea obviously not, you know, just lying back and doing nothing, but just good. Just good. Very solid game so far, and honestly, I'm very much liking it. Goretzka seems to be offside. Okay, Goretzka seems to be much further, playing much further ahead. But Thiago, I mean, he's dropped back right now, but like he hasn't really dropped back fully. So it's actually quite interesting that. Oh, look, Lewandowski, Lewandowski. Ah, penalty. Let's go. Offside. VAR. No, he's not offside. Chelsea's left back. VAR. Haha, that's a penalty all day. That's a penalty all day. VAR. VAR. Check the friggin' VAR. Damn it. Good stuff. Good stuff. Good stuff. Penalty. Good way to start the game. Good way to start the game. Good way to start the game. Lewandowski. I'm not worried. He's gonna score. He's gonna score. He will score. He will score. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on, Sonny boy. Come on, Sonny boy. Don't do anything silly. Just do your typical slow run up and then place it after looking where the keeper goes. I'm not worried. Why am I worried? It's Lewandowski. He's not gonna miss. Come on. What a... Two keepers couldn't have saved that. What a beautiful goal. 1-0. 9 minutes played, 1-0. Let's go. Ben Loud, I know you're a Chelsea fan. Shoot. I mean, Caballero in that situation, he just looked poor. I mean, he just looked poor. I'm sorry to say that. Your defense... The keeper didn't look that poor, granted. He did what he had to do, but... One could argue he should have gotten a red, granted, but... Your defense looked rather poor there. But that's 4-0. Man, this game has me... This penalty has me nervous, alright? I'm like, I'm not worried. I'm not worried. We're going to win this. But now I'm like... That penalty, I don't know whether it's because it was so slow or whatnot, but that penalty genuinely had me, like, worried on the edge of my seat. I'm always on the edge of my seat because I'm sitting like this. But still. Ah. Should have... Gnabry! Nah. Paris should have played that past Lewandowski. That could have been 2-0. Don't get nervous. It says fearless on it. True. True. Absolutely 100% true. Absolutely true. Absolutely true. Do you think we'll win the Champions League? As I said. We're the best team this season, alright? And I think so by far. We're the best team this season. But I don't like how everything has been changed this season. If it was a 2 games... Davies! Oh! Oh, that's not a foul. He got the ball! As I said, I think we're the best team this season. And, he got the ball! Anyway, shoot, what was I saying? I think we're the best team this season in a Champions League. But I don't like how everything has been changed. We're going at it today. Oh, that was a bad pass. We're going at it today. Exactly what I was hoping for. Exactly how we play on the flick. This is brilliant. This is brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Magnificent. I think we'll get to the Champions League final. I don't know whether we can win it outright. Ref. Come on, lad. Incidentally, I also have a bet based on this game. That we will win 6-0. You know, when I make a prediction video and a preview, alright, to a game, when I say that I think we're gonna win 6-0, as ridiculous as that sounds, right, and as overconfident and almost arrogant as it sounds, I put my money where my mouth is, alright. So I said before the game, I made a video saying I think we're gonna win 6-0. And some of you may be like, that's absolutely ridiculous. 6-0. That's a cricket score, not a football score. But I put my money where my mouth is. I think I bet 50 or 60 pounds on a 6-0 score. So we'll see. We'll see who's gonna have the last laugh. Probably not me, but hey. Probably not me. That's probably gone. That's probably money that's gone. Ooh, nice one, Goretzka. He's fighting for the ball. Nice. Keep pressing. He's gonna pass it. No, he's gonna pass it back. Okay. Let a thrashing begin. I give up with Chelsea. Hey man, you guys are a team that's currently rebuilding. So fair enough, you know. Most teams have a period where they're rebuilding and they don't look as good. So who knows? You've done some very good signings, and if the rumors are true, you're gonna do some very good signings. On top of that, so who knows? You might be a much stronger team next season and the season after. Obviously, most of the Premier League are kind of rebuilding right now. Manchester United is looking very, very strong as well with their squad and their rumored acquisitions. So I can't say you're gonna do well in the Premier League because all the teams are doing so well right now. But I think you're gonna. Oh, Miller! That should be on target, bro. He leaned back on that shot. He does the typical the typical Muller shot where he kind of leans back, he like opens up his body and then shoots, which is how he used to take his penalties, but doesn't do that anymore. Oh well, that should have been at least a shot on target. But we're looking sharp. That's the key thing. We're looking sharp, prepared, and we are hungry. So I honestly can't complain. I can't complain in the slightest. If anything, I think we need to be a little bit more clinical. Who was that to? Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who that was to. Ooh, Perisic. Yeah. Oh, that. All right. That was a difficult pass to make in the first place, but that would have been a good. Oh no. All right, good. This game is actually quite good. Chelsea, they're not really just lying down, and us having scored, they're not really just gonna sit back or whatnot. They're still trying to play their game. Granted, we're snuffing them out for the most part, but they're still trying to play their game, which is actually very, very nice to see. Because I think if they didn't, I think we would be doing. If Chelsea just sat back and tried to counter us, I think we would have. Honestly, at this point, probably had another goal or two, because we're very used to teams going negative against us, negative football, as people would like to call it. I don't see that. I don't see that issue. Defensive football is a thing that exists. I don't have an issue with that. But the quote unquote park the bus, which has such a negative connotation to it, but I think they would have lost if they did that. They would have lost badly if they did. Davis? Oh, man, Davis's pace. And exactly the kind of issue that I said in my it's kind of like a preview prediction, whatever. I didn't talk too much about on the game, to be fair, but one of the few things that I did mention was how in the Arsenal game, Chelsea very much struggled with like the long ball over the top. And that's kind of what we're using, although we're also pushing them primarily through our right side, not so much through the left. Muller. Lewandowski. That's bro. What a cross! Yo. Oh, what was that shot, Goretzka? He just went straight for the. Yeah, he just went straight for the spectacular. He was like, yo. Just went straight for the spectacular, like, bro. Who do you think you are? You're not me, alright? Who do you think you are? I was the kind of person that, like, back when I used to play for a team and whatnot, I used to be like the kind of person that would do, like, overhead kicks and bicycle kicks and so on and so forth. But, yeah, cause, like, I never got injured. I'm, like, one of those weird people that played football for a team, like, every week, so on and so forth, from, like, when I was, like, 3 or 4, honestly, till I was 11. And I never got injured in that period of time. Like, I would be the person that would go into challenges. Like, if somebody did a sliding tackle, I would walk into it. Because I was like, I'm going to go into it. I don't know what was wrong with me back then, but I was like, yeah, go ahead, try it. Try and break my legs. I want to see if you can. And just I've never been hurt, never picked up a muscle injury, or never, like, broken or anything or something along those lines. Never even had a bloody nose. Like, nothing. It's not like... Oh! Shuckleberries! Shuckleberries and a half. Goretzka's down. He looks hurt, but he doesn't look injured. Okay. Let's have a look at this challenge then. It looks like he got hit to the side. Onwards and upwards, my friend. Great commentary. Well, thank you very much for the $4.99 Curm. I don't even know what you're doing here, to be honest, because you're not even a football fan. you're not even a football fan, bro. But I appreciate it nonetheless. I want the revenge against Barca. I think most of it. Yeah, I think most of us kind of. I don't. To me, revenge is kind of like a foreign concept, because we lose against teams, we win against teams. Obviously, against the bigger teams, we lose more often because we play them a lot more often. But revenge, Barcelona's leading 1-0 through Lenglet. Okay. But yeah, revenge to me is just like I gotten over it. When I was younger, if you had asked, if this game against Chelsea happened like say 4 or 5 years ago, I would have been like, yeah, revenge. Now I'm like, okay, cool. Okay, cool. It's Chelsea. I don't feel any like animosity towards them anymore. Either I've grown up, or it's just that football. You know, I recognize in football you lose games, you win games, as a wise saying goes. You lose some, you win some, as long as the outcome is income. All our attack is through. I wish we had a left side as well, but all our attack is through our right side. Like, unless it's like Davies on the left, all our attack is through Alaba. Alright, good. All our attack is through our right, which, you know, is good because our right is so good. But it also, if they just tighten up their right side, we would have significant, well, granted, we probably would switch it up, but we'd have significantly less chances. I think Bayern are probably the best team in the world at the moment. Can't see a team like City or Barca beating you. Ooh. Oh, okay. Yeah, I sort of agree with you, honestly. I've been thinking that we're the best team in the world this season. But the issue is, oftentimes it doesn't get rewarded. I thought we were the best team in 2015 and 2016. And we always fell short in the, in the semi-finals. So that really doesn't mean much. it really doesn't mean much, honestly. At the end of the day, the trophies are what matters. I know I always say that I much prefer... I don't much prefer, but like I would like to see Bayern always play well and, you know, be consistent, then just like show up for the big games. Because I feel like if we play consistent, if a team plays consistent, then I think they're going to play well. Again, I'm a huge consistency fan, which is probably why probably the people that listen to me say that right now, that I'm a huge consistency fan, are probably saying or thinking to themselves right now, well, you don't upload consistently on this channel. What is wrong with you? And I'm just like, yeah, you know, I'm a huge consistency fan. Just not about myself. Just not when it comes to myself. But hey, I'm a little bit of a hypocrite, I guess, in that regard. If Thiago goes, who would you like as his replay? I think we're actually... This game, I can't even get a thought out because every time something happens, every time I'm trying to say something, something happens. But, shoot, who would you like to see as his replacement? I don't think, as I said, I don't... Oh, that was offside, okay. I don't think we're gonna splash big. So I don't think like any big names that people, you know, often associate us with. I think we're just gonna either keep what we have, or we're just gonna get a right back and move Kimmich, you know, permanently into midfield, which is what it seems like we're doing. For me, the bigger question is, what if Alaba leaves? That to me is like the big question, and I might make a video on that on its own, because I think Alaba he can fill 3 positions. He filled 3 positions: left back, you know, obviously. Centre back, and in emergency cases he can also, you know. Oh, nah. Ah, that pass was poor. That was a poor pass by. He did Davis did everything right there except the pass, but oh well. I don't think there is a player like Thiago available on the market. There isn't. There's never a player. There's never a like-for-like player. I know as much as people want to have it, there's never a like-for-like player. I like Thiago because he just brings this calmness and, honestly, flair, as I said earlier, spice to our game. But I think we don't necessarily need it. He has great performances for us, and oftentimes he can be the match winner for us. But I also think like we could have just a more traditional, boring, quote-unquote, boring midfielder, and they would do just as well. But doesn't matter. But I still really like Thiago, and I still hope that he doesn't leave. But I do understand that he wants to leave because, you know, he's getting old, and if he's gonna leave, this really the last year, or next year is really going to be the last year where he can like play for a top team at a different club in a different country in a different league. So he wants a new challenge, which I'm when it comes to like signings and departures, you know, I don't want to say I'm not as emotionally invested. but I'm not as what's the right phrasing? I'm not as Lewandowski. Lewandowski, pass it. What are you waiting for? Let's go. 2-0. Yabba-dabba-doo. Yabba-dabba-doo. Perisic. 2-0. Alright, awesome. Awesome. As I was trying to... Damn, awesome. That's some good stuff. Some good football. As I was trying to say though, right? When it comes to players, I'm not as emotional about them leaving. Because I understand that football at the end of the day is also for them their livelihood and a career, and their career is relatively short compared to other works and whatnot. So I understand that. Schweinsteiger, that took a toll on me, and since then I'm like, okay, I understand. Okay, I understand. I'm here for the support of your team to win, since my team will never win. Trying to become a consistent football fan. I was inspired by Liverpool's win after 30. What do you mean Liverpool's win? Didn't you say that you're an Arsenal fan? I mean, you said you were an Arsenal fan. I remember that talk very clearly that we had at university. You said, oh yeah, I'm an Arsenal fan. Then I asked you, well, who plays for Arsenal? Who's the current manager of Arsenal? And I think you said Arsene Wenger, and after that you said Arteta. Which, yeah, so... Neuer. Good stuff, Neuer. Good stuff, Neuer. I'm gonna need loads of vodka tonight after the game. Yous are all over us. Hey, I wouldn't blame you. But as I said, you guys are actually fighting back, which is good. You guys are fighting back, which is good. You know, you're not just laying back. You're actually trying to play football. Granted, it doesn't work a lot of the time, but you're still trying, and that itself is commendable. Alright, that's a poor header. Alright, that's a good header. Okay, good. Alright, good. Supposedly, wink, wink, eh? Exactly, supposedly. Messi scores. Of course, the X Factor, Messi. So, my prediction of the Napoli and Barcelona game, you know, being a relatively tight game, where I think it's going to be a 1-1 result. Yeah, it's 2-0 already. Wait a second. Wait a second. So, we scored against Chelsea. Lewandowski scored in the 10th minute. And we just scored in the 24th minute, again, for Perisic. Barcelona scored their first goal against Napoli in the 10th minute. And they scored their second one right now. Messi scored the second one right now in the 24th minute. We're scoring the same goals at the same exact time right now. Football. Football, eh? I love football for it. Just for little things like that. Coincidences, whatever they are. I don't understand them. There's so many things in football that I don't understand, which makes no sense. Like, I'm expecting, like, Chelsea player, Hudson-Odoi, to have a good performance in this game. Granted, debatable so far, but I was expecting him to have a good performance in this game because he was linked with us last summer. And, like, there's things in football like that that just somehow happen. It's also why we keep beating Arsenal 5-1, no matter... Bro. I just mentioned Hudson-Odoi and he scores. That was a great goal. I can't lie, but did I just jinx this? I said a second, like even 30 seconds ago, that I'm expecting Hudson-Odoi to have a good game because that's just one of those things in football, and then he scores. Football. Football. It makes no sense. Alright, my 6-0 prediction is out the window right now, but as long as we win, I'm happy, alright? Yo, I don't understand. I don't understand. It makes no sense. It's one of those weird games that makes no sense. Oh well. Oh well. See, 1 goal in 5 games and he scores it against us, who he's been linked with last season. Oh wait, potentially offside? Oh yeah, oh yeah. Offside. 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 The 6-0 lives on. Offside. The 6-0 lives on. He's yeah, this is brilliant. This is brilliant. Now, because now I can say, well, Hudson Odoi still had a great game, and that's the football story. But we can still win 6-0, which would be my story. Two birds with one stone. Two birds with one stone, straight up. Makes me sad that they scored. I want Europe to fear us. Never mind. Never mind. Never mind. Truly, never mind. Good stuff. Good stuff. Miller. I wish Miller was a little bit more. I don't know what happened to Miller. Like, he used to be a little bit more greedy, but now he's a lot more of a team player. And generally, you always want your players to be team players. But, like, he's taking it to another level where, like, you know, when he should be holding onto the ball, you know, being a little bit more greedy, a little bit more selfish, so on and so forth. He just isn't. He just isn't. He just, like, looks for the pass right away. That was offside. I can't believe that was... I don't know where that went offside, but... Hey. Okay. Perisic having a goal as well. Which is kind of funny, because he was on the right wing when he scored that goal, despite him playing on the left today. Okay. Müller. Okay. Oh, Gnabry! My favorite goal, for those guys that don't know, my favorite goal that Bayern has ever scored, not ever scored, I can't go that far, but my favorite goal from the current crop of players, the current, quote-unquote current, alright, there's an asterisk to it, obviously, is the goal against Porto. I think I've said this a few times already. It's my favorite goal that I've ever seen scored. And I know there's been like ton of bicycle kicks, and my favorite goal that my favorite goal that's ever been scored that I've watched live. There has to be an asterisk there, because I've got a different goal in mind of a game that I didn't watch live. But that was my favorite goal that we ever scored against Porto. The 6-1 or 6-0 win against Porto a few years ago, I think 3 or 4 years ago. There's this one goal that we scored where I think it was Thiago, right? Thiago, he's in center, Lahm is running down the right, and Thiago, he just plays the ball to Lahm. Lahm, like, runs after the ball, crosses it into, while still running, he crosses it into, while the ball's still in the air, he, like, half volleys it into the box. Müller gets the ball, he's, like, awkwardly pass it to Lewandowski. Lewandowski just, like, heads it in. That was my favorite goal because it's a team goal. And I've always been a sucker for team goals more than like these individual brilliant efforts. You know, the 35-yard shot and whatnot. I always just preferred the team goals. And that is like the goal, maybe not my favorite goal, but the goal that always comes to mind. Probably because that's one of the few games that I was actually negative on. One of the few games where I went into, I was like, I don't know whether we can do it. I don't know whether we can do it. I don't see it. I don't know. Which is why when we actually did it. Which is why when we actually did it, I was like, yo, okay, I'm never being negative ever again. Positive. When it comes to football, I'm Mr. Positive. As I am known. It is so warm here in Manchester. I wanted to go farm foods today. Because I saw on a website that they were selling like these 5 litre, not 5 litre, but like these massive tubs of ice cream for like £4. And I was like, oh, that sounds brilliant. I need to go get it. But then like when I checked the clock, it was like 5 p.m. and they closed at 4, I think, in my area. So I was like, too late. But they sold like these massive tubs of ice cream that you normally only get at like ice cream shops. You know, like the big containers of ice cream. I was like, perfect. Especially for this weather, perfect. Oh, Davis, Müller, Gnabry, I don't know, anyone. Lewandowski. Nah, he's taking a shot. He took that shot despite Kimmich actually made a very good run there on the right wing. But oh well. Please win the Champions League this season. Anyone but Manchester City. LFC, Aaron, thank you very much for the super chat. I mean, I guess I can say we'll try. We'll try. You know, I do think we're the best team in the Champions League this season, but at the end of the day, it is the Champions League as well. Yeah, he was offside, by like a foot. But yeah, I mean, we'll most certainly try, Aaron. To the best of our abilities. To the best of our abilities. In this season, from like the recent seasons, right? Not from like, we're not going back too far, but like from the recent seasons, this is definitely the strongest squad, the most cohesive squad, and honestly, the best squad compared to like the rest of the competition that we've had. And we are, in my opinion, the overwhelming favourites. But at the end of the day, football is just one of those weird games. Which is why I don't want to play City. I don't want to play City. Because the Pep factor. The Pep factor. There is a story in that game. And football just, as I said, football just has these weird stories that it just wants to write itself. And I don't understand it. It's like, we play against Arsenal, it's a 5-1 victory. We play against, as I said in this game, we were linked to Cho last summer, and that transfer didn't work. And then, I said, like 5 seconds later after I say that, he scores. Granted, the goal was given as offside, but he still scores. So football just has this like weird, unique way to write its own stories. And that's why I don't want to play against Pep, because there is a story in that game. And I don't know which way that story would go, but there is a story in that game, and I don't like that. Okay, that's really decent. You look like a different team from when we played last season. Yeah, most certainly. Since Flick took over, we are a much more cohesive unit. We are actually... all the players are actually playing really well. And a big factor of that is Müller being in the team. Müller just has this kind of effect on our squad, where when Müller plays well, Bayern generally plays well. There's a very old saying that like Van Gaal said when he was at Bayern, and that is that Müller always plays, which is why Kovac, when he was sacked, one of the first things that Flick did when he took over was that he basically put Müller back into the squad, and since then we've just looked much better. Because you may look at him, you're like, what does Müller actually offer? Like he's not holding the ball. He's not really scoring all his goals. Yes, he's assisting his goals, but not really scoring all his goals. He's not a winger. What does he really offer? But then you actually look at his movement, and just his movement alone creates so much space, so much threat for us, that like he's an irreplaceable part. And obviously that doesn't have, with the addition of like all these wonderful players that joined our team or that have really done really well this season, in the likes of Goretzka doing really well. You have Davies, who's doing really well. Gnabry, who generally does very well in the Champions League, not so much in the Bundesliga. He still has a solid season in the Bundesliga, but just inconsistent season in the Bundesliga. But brilliant season in the Champions League. Goretzka, who, since the restart, has looked like a top... Oh, that was a good pass from Gnabry, who's looked like a top 3 player for us after the restart. Oh, come on, ref. It's just... the team is just gelling well, and a lot of that obviously has to do with the fact that we had Flick take over and we're playing a different approach. We're playing a little bit different. The team has a lot more freedom and a lot more creative in their attack. But like even fringe players that like before this they didn't really stand out. Even fringe players like that are now really doing really well. So. Look at that penalty though from Lewandowski. So it kind of just all comes together. Just give us a trophy. I can't handle as much tension. Hey, hey, I wish it was that easy. All right, I wish it was that easy. I wish it was that easy. It's not though, unfortunately. All right. I like how good we are on the ball. And that's always been something that I'm always very grateful and thankful for. I know, Pep isn't the only one that really made us play like that, but like, just him drilling the what's it called, the rondo so much with us is, a big contributor, obviously, to the fact that we're so good on the ball. That so many of our key players are so good on the ball. That example just then was obviously Boateng and Neuer, and yeah, because that could have gone completely different. I can't see anyone stopping Manchester City other than Bayern. The thing is, it's a one-off game. So I straight up, I'm like, I think there's going to be a lot more surprises than people think in this Champions League campaign. I think there's going to be a lot more surprises than people really think in this Champions League campaign. Good football. So Gnabry has moved on to the left right now. And it's why we're suddenly seeing a lot more attacks through the left. Shocker. Shocker. Not faulting Perisic, obviously, but like Perisic, besides the goal, he's had a few moments in this game, but like, oh, that would have, oh, nice one, Kimmich. If that through ball by Kimmich would have gone through, that would have been a brilliant move. Unfortunately, we're stopped, but oh well. By the way, we scored 5 goals against Chelsea and Lever contributed to every single one of them. That's Lewandowski for you. He's had an absolutely amazing season this season, so yeah, I'm not surprised. Now Perisic is on the left. Perisic and Gnabry just constantly interchange. Hey! Ah! Miller tried to get there. Unfortunate. Unlucky right there. Unlucky. I love how Barca wait till Real lose to look decent. I'm not watching the other game, by the way, so I can't really comment. I was gonna watch the other game. I was gonna put it on a different monitor, but I'm not watching it at the moment, so I can't really comment on that, on how that game is going. But you might be onto something. You might be onto something, perhaps. Everyone who's here, including Prince, do you guys think having no spectators affects the team's performance? Like, even though they're doing good, are some teams affected? I mean, I'll give you my take. I mean, I don't know what everyone else thinks. Having no spectators is most certainly affecting the team. I think you look at results, just from a pure results standpoint. Uh-oh. Okay, good. Just from a pure results standpoint, you know, but before there were, when there were still spectators, home teams had a significant home, team advantage. You know, home teams would often more likely than not win at home. And since this whole quarantine period happened and there is no spectators in football, it's a lot. One second, I'm about to sneeze right now. It's a lot closer, which is like one of those things, which is why, like, at the beginning, like when the quarantine happened and the bookies, you know, the bookies when they still had the same rate for home teams to win as they had before the quarantine, a lot of people took up on that and like, well, yeah, that's free money. Because home team advantage doesn't really exist at the moment anymore. So, you know, that clearly has a massive effect on football. I don't know what it is before. I don't know what it was before. But I think it was like something like home teams generally win like 65, just an average. 65% of the time they win when they play at home. But like after the quarantine, it's basically just 50-50. It's like there's no difference between playing at home or playing away. Despite the fact that there should be some differences because of jet lag and so on and so forth. But apparently not. That's a yellow. That's a yellow. Ref. Yeah, alright, yellow card. So, yeah, the Ballon d'Or is rigged. Hey. I agree. I've always said I don't really care about these individual prizes that much, right? But the Ballon d'Or is rigged. Straight up, it's rigged. Absolutely rigged, and I hate it. I hate it. The one year where Lewandowski would have won it. The one time, I mean, you could argue 2013. I would strongly argue about 2013 that Ribery should have won it in 2013, but that didn't happen. But the one time that Lewandowski, who was basically guaranteed to win it this year, the one time, especially if Bayern win the Champions League, then he would be absolutely guaranteed to win it. But like the one time he was 99.9% certain to win it, right? They scrap it. They scrap it because they don't like Lewandowski. They scrap it just because Lewandowski called them mafia like 3 years ago. So they scrapped it. They were like, Lewandowski's about to win it. Oh, well, let's find an excuse to not hold the Ballon d'Or this year. Oh, we can use the excuse that the French league isn't playing, but despite the fact that every single league besides the French league, every single major league besides the French league resumed and continued. They annoy me so much. I don't care about individual awards, but like the way it's so blatantly handled is just frustrating. It's like with the Modric victory, and I can understand the Modric victory, but like Modric wasn't even in discussion until Ronaldo said, "I'm leaving Real Madrid." The second Ronaldo said, "I'm leaving Real Madrid," Madrid had this massive campaign that Madrid should win it. And I get it. I get it. Don't get me wrong. I get it. Ah, Neuer. Ah. That was poor. That was poor. That was very poor from Neuer. Yeah, that was just poor. Oh well. It happens. It happens in world football. It happens. Yeah, that is actually... You're looking at the replay, it looks even worse on replay. I don't want to see it anymore. Go away. Go away. Okay. Alright, it happens. It happens. I can't be too mad about it. It happens. Shoot, but what was I saying? But yeah, I don't know what I was saying. The Ballon d'Or is rigged. Oh yeah, that's what I was talking about. That's a really good statistics. Thanks for the information. Hey, you're welcome. You are welcome. That was frustrating by now, considering that, you know, he's been back to his stellar best this season. But for him to concede it like that, that's gonna annoy him more than it will the rest of the team. I would assume. A minute of added to. Because yeah, he's one of those players that, like, once he makes a mistake, he hates it more than anyone. Well, if they lose, Bayern, granted, we won't lose. We won't go out. I'll say that much. We won't go out. We will proceed. I think we're going to win this game as well, to be honest. The way we've been playing this first half, I think we're going to score another 2 or 3 goals in the second half. Obviously, the 6-0 bet is gone. Dead. In the mud. But at the end of the day, I think that might actually... Ultimately, it might actually end up being a blessing in disguise. Because Neuer will be even more motivated. And I think that might actually spur him on even more for the later rounds. Hopefully. I'm saying all that, but like Chelsea have a corner right now, so I'm like, if they score right now, I think that the game has been shifted. Then suddenly it's from 2-0 to 2-2. That's a terrible corner. That's a terrible corner. That's one of the worst corners I've seen in a long time. What players do you think you need to this window to make you even better next season? Well, I definitely thought we needed a new winger, which we got with Sané. Now, assuming Thiago leaves, who is basically guaranteed to leave at this point, and assuming that I'm assuming Alaba stays. Let me just pause the game at the moment. So, assuming that Thiago leaves and Alaba stays, I think a right back. If we get a right back, I think that would be basically that. Because if we had another right back, and right now we've got, you know, Perisic that plays at right back. We've got Kimmich that can play at right back. Kimmich wants to play in midfield. So if Thiago leaves, Kimmich can have a permanent position in midfield. Also, it depends on what Perisic does. If Perisic leaves, that's a good question. If Perisic leaves, you know, there's just a discussion of whether, like, you know, Perisic is gonna stay or not. There's just every week there's like a different thing. It's like, oh yeah, Bayern are close to actually signing Perisic and so on and so. Actually, I should probably pause that. But like, there's always a different discussion about Perisic on whether he's gonna leave or not, whether he's gonna have a future at Bayern or not. And my thing with this is very, very simple. That if he stays at Bayern, you know, I wouldn't be against it. He knows that he would be a substitute. He wouldn't be a starter. I mean, obviously starting today's game, but that's because Coman is out. But that's the issue. We have too many players that are injury prone. So like having more wingers and a right back. Like say we get another winger that can play on both wings and a right back as well, then I think we'd be pretty much settled. Like I don't honestly expect us to make many signings, and I don't expect us to make many good signings. What I think we need is just many signings that can fill in. Like, I'm all for young players at the moment, honestly. Young, versatile players, because we have a very versatile squad. You look at for example, you look at our fullbacks. Alaba currently, well, Davies currently playing as a left back. He could go and play as a, you know, left winger. He he's quite versatile. Not as versatile as some other players, but he's quite versatile. Then you've got Alaba, centre back. He's playing a centre back today. He's played as left back his whole career, and for his national team, he plays in midfield. So he's very versatile as well. Then you've got Boateng. I mean, Boateng, he can only play centre back and right back, so he's very limited, I guess. But you look at some of our other defenders. You look at Pavard. He can play as a centre back and as a right back. Lucas Hernandez, he can play as a left back and a centre back. And you just look at all of these things, and then especially midfield. You know, you talk about midfield, or Kimmich, for example, right back or in midfield. Then you look at Müller. In emergency, he could play on the wings as well. I'm not a fan of it. But he could, in theory, play that as well. Gnabry, he can play on the left and the right wing. You know, Coleman, he can play on the left and the right wing. Sané, he can play on the left and the right wing. So we have a lot of players like that who are versatile and not attacking players. You know, that's usually when you like really point when it's like, yeah, most wingers can play on each wing. That's fine. But like even our like centre backs and left backs and right backs, you know, they can play multiple positions. So we just have this whole air right now where like we have so many versatile players that I wouldn't be opposed to having more versatile players, because at the end of the day, it just helps. it just helps. It's just good. It's just great. It's just fantastic. Dest would be nice. Max Aarons. I mean, we've been linked with a few players, granted. You know, we've been linked with a lot of up-and-coming players. I would personally also like to see us integrate more youth players. I know we are trying to. In a way, I want to say we're trying a little bit too slow. In a way, I'm saying that perhaps a little bit too slow. But because we are a club that constantly needs to win, you know, that's kind of the ethos, the mythos about our team, that, you know, win, win, win. That's kind of how it is. It's obviously a lot harder to integrate younger players. So in that regard, I just want to say that, yeah, we're not integrating them quickly enough, but we are integrating them. You know, Zirkzee, for example, he's played a bunch of games this season. He could most certainly have played more, but he's played a bunch of games this season. I fully expect, you know, for the likes of Singh, the likes of Croissant, I can't ever say his name, so let's just call him Croissant, to get a lot more game time next season. I fully expect him, especially, you know, there are a few players I can think of in the youth cup, but I don't think anyone else is really ready just yet. Zirkzee obviously is the easiest one because he's had game time this season. Singh, I think, should be fairly close as well. So we have youth players that can come in as well, and I would like to see them. That's always been my thing, though. I always wanted to see more youth players. But who knows? You know, I don't think we need that much. I don't think we need that. I think we're actually pretty set as a squad. I just think we need to have a season where we don't have many injuries, and if that happens, I'd be beyond the moon. But injuries are just a part of the club at the moment. A part of the club, and has been a part of the club for the longest. So I can't really talk about that much because they're a guaranteed and a given. What do you think of the first half? Good first half. A little bit of lapse of concentration towards the end, but shoot, when you're 5-0 up, can I really fault them when they're 5-0 up? Yes, I can. Yes, I can. They should have done better. They shouldn't have conceded. But nah, they're doing well. They're doing well. They are doing well. They're not doing bad. They're just doing well. They're actually not doing good. They're not doing well. They're doing good, but they're not doing great. They look very dangerous. But the thing is that our attack has basically been through. It's been through whichever side that Gnabry has been on. And that's a little bit worrying to me. I know Perisic, you know, he scored the goal, so I shouldn't complain about that. You know, he scored a goal. What more could you want in football? But I don't think, besides like the goal, I don't think he's contributed enough, which is why I'm so happy when we get more wingers. But I don't think he's a bad choice as like a backup. I just think he hasn't had a good. When you score a goal, I can't say that you haven't had a good game. That's the thing. When you score a goal, I can't say you haven't had a good game. So I'll just say this: he hasn't been dangerous enough. Let's leave it at that. He hasn't been dangerous enough. So we've been basically going through wherever Gnabry was, and it's a bit of a shame, you know. If we were a threat from both wings, we could have done much better. But football, that's football for you. Wish Sanish could play. I agree with you. Focus on our young players and focus on them. I feel like with Kovac and Guardiola, we were weak emotionally, but with Job and Flick, it feels like a family. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I wouldn't say weak emotionally. I don't think the team has ever been weak emotionally. I think there's just always been a core that dislikes a manager, and the core that dislikes a manager is generally, if it's the core that is the established player core. For example, Ribery had an issue with Pep. For example, Müller had an issue with Kovac. And so did Boateng. So I feel like if those higher up players, the players that have a lot more weight, if they have an issue with a coach, then the whole system falls apart, and the coach is likely to be sacked rather soon. You could make the same argument for Ancelotti, in all fairness. But the thing with Ancelotti for me, though, was, and it always has been, that we didn't play good under Ancelotti for a season, and the second season, towards the second season, he got sacked. But the one game where we lost against PSG 3-0, and he got sacked right after, is the one game where I think he shouldn't have been sacked. Because that was the one game where he played the youth, and then we lost 3-0 and he got sacked. And that's the one, I understand sacking him. I wouldn't have been against it, and I'm not against it as well. I just think it shouldn't have happened after that game, because he actually tried to play the youth in that game, and it backfired, and he got sacked for it. And yes, we weren't good before that, but I don't think he should have been punished for that approach. I think they should have just waited until the next loss and then sacked him. But that's a long time ago. I think most people don't even remember that, because football fans, they have a very short memory. There's a player called Moon. Moon? What's that supposed to be? So it just shows up as Moon for me. No, there is no player called Moon, as far as I can think. Yeah, I agree. Just some fine tuning, pretty much like LFC. Yeah, pretty much what it is. There aren't too many changes. Well, I don't think we're gonna sell any players. I don't really think we're gonna buy any players that are gonna light the world on fire. I just think we're gonna get a lot of players that are young, have a lot of potential. Why are they showing a McDonald's ad right now? Now I kind of want McDonald's. Now I kind of want McDonald's. I'll get myself some fast food. But now I kind of want McDonald's. I hate it. You look at the advertisement and you're like, yeah, it's an obvious ad, all right? And you're just like, you're never going to get me with that ad. You're never going to get me. You're never going to make me spend money on whatever product you're selling, right? And I'm looking at it. I'm looking at the McDonald's ad that just happened right there. And I'm like, I want McDonald's right now. They got me. They threw the bait and they got me. Then it's like, gotcha. Shishko. I prefer this tournament system for Champions League. Well, first of all, thank you very much for the super chat. I don't. I don't. I mean, I understand why it's done this season. I don't. I think I know why you do as well, because it's very similar, very reminiscent to obviously how the DFB Pokal is run. I couldn't think of it for a second. It's very similar to how the DFB Pokal is done. One-off games, so on and so forth. I already know who you're playing in a way, I guess, but I just don't. I like the whole, home and away. You get to visit new stadiums. I don't always like when Bayern plays against a Manchester team, because then I can be like, yeah, it's right around my corner. I can go watch the game. Although, I was planning. I don't know if that's still gonna happen. Probably not. But I was planning on doing match. What are they called? Match reviews with fans after games next season. But there won't be any fans. There won't be any fans next season, so there's no point me even traveling to Germany every time there is a match and do fan cams, because there won't be any fans at the stadium. But I was thinking about doing that, just because there isn't anyone. I know Bayern now is doing a lot of videos. He's doing consistently, which is why I think you should all check him out as well. You should subscribe to him. But before this year, there was nobody else but me doing Bayern videos in English. Specifically just Bayern. Now there are obviously more and more people coming up. I think Clarent said that he asked me how to make videos, so I think he's gonna make videos as well, a Twitter user. So there are more and more people doing it. But the thing has always been that you compare this channel with say the Premier League channel, so on and so forth. Like Arsenal Fan TV, the Redman TV. There are a bunch of United channels, but like you compare the Bundesliga scene with that, and you don't really get much insight from the fans. And I think that's what I want to change, you know, because right now, yes, more and more people are popping up, sharing their insight, but the issue is that we're just in a vacuum, right? We're not a lot of people. We're just a few people that are talking about football, and then you obviously go on Twitter and whatnot, and there's a lot more people, but there aren't enough compared to, say, the other big Premier League teams. And that's kind of what I wanted to change. Obviously, that would require a lot of money on my part, either flying every weekend or so to Germany, getting tickets and everything as of that, like that. But that wouldn't be much of an issue, I guess. You know, maybe in the short term it wouldn't. Maybe in the long term it would. But like, just a lot of things like that. You know, I've been trying to think of like how could I get more people's thoughts out there. But at the end of the day, I don't know. At the end of the day, I don't know. Like that was the plan to do it maybe, but then Corona hit. I was like, yeah, well, Corona hit. Well, Corona hit. No fans will be at the stadium. No fans will be there to talk. So hey, screw it. Screw it. Have you seen Davis's girl? I saw a Twitter post about it, but I didn't really look into it. I think he's like married to like a PSG women player, I think. But like I didn't really look into it too much because, you know, I'm one of those people that don't really care. I'll be honest, I don't really care. A lot of people, they view these players as like, you know, they view them on a pedestal. I don't. I have favorites, of course. I'm not gonna lie. I have favorites when it comes to players, but I don't need to know what they're eating for breakfast. You know, that's not me. I always say that I care about the club, and while the players are part of the club and the players obviously identify with the club, they are still just a part of the club. They're not the club as a whole. So I don't really care much about the players, what they do in their spare time. Unless it's, you know, football related, then I do care. But like if it's their private and personal life, I don't really care, to be completely honest. When I was younger, I did, but nowadays I'm just like, yeah. My life is far more interesting than theirs. Is it? Is it really? Probably not. But a lot of my football opinions have changed though over the years, I have to say. Like I've been doing this for quite a while now, but a lot of my football opinions have changed over the years. And if you had asked me like, you know, 4 or 5 years ago, my views would have probably been a lot different. Like if you would have asked me when I was still writing for Bayern Central, I don't actually know whether Bayern Central still exists, but like back then when I was writing for them, when I was like 16, 17, when I was going through college, I used to write for them a little bit. I used to be a lot more, I don't want to say opinionated, but a lot more, what's the right phrasing? A lot more nosy. I think that may be the right way to phrase it. I used to care a lot more about like what they do, you know, where they are, what they're doing, if they're leaving, if they're not leaving. Nowadays, I'm just like, all right, you're playing for the club. As long as you give your all, I'm okay with that. I was hoping for a 7-0, but 7-1 would suffice. Hey, hopefully, hopefully, bring back some trauma from. Ooh, that's rough. Fair. I agree. It's what they do on the pitch that matters precisely. Let me just reset that. The timer. Turn the watch on again. We're gonna go like this. It's not the perfect way to do it, but oh well. It's the best way I can think of right now, honestly. And once we start the second half, we're gonna start the second half. There we go. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. So the second half kicks off. Great discussion, I can see. Well, thank you very much, Kerm. Thank you very much for the message. So Chelsea most certainly see. Actually, the timer is a little bit off. 22. About a second off. Like that. That should be much better. Yeah, that should be much better. So, Chelsea seem to be a lot more going for it. They seem to be going for it a lot more. 1 second. Oh, okay, good. Alright, good. I was kind of worried there just then. It's also... You know, earlier I said I'm very thankful that our players are very good on their feet. That was a close one by Neuer. Neuer's not having the best game today. I mean, he's had very little to do, but still, generally he's a lot more calm. Yeah, the goal that they scored, you know, was a mistake from him, but it happens. It happens. Oh well. What transfer can we make to improve? Thank good for Sané being sealed. Yes, Sané to me was the big one. Bro, Chelsea are going for it, but they're having a lot of... Ah, Gnabry! That pass needs to be better. I was just about to say, they're attacking us a lot right now, but that's going to leave a lot of spaces behind. And the second I said that, we nearly... Well, we should have probably scored if Gnabry had a better pass. But he didn't, and so we didn't score. But they're definitely going to go for it more, which is obviously understandable when you're down 5-1 on aggregate. We're just going to allow us the opportunities to attack them a lot more, which is great. Which is absolutely fantastic. I'm all for it. The game's back on. Yeah, Northwest, the game's back on. I'll answer your questions if you remind me. Actually, no, I already answered that. What transfers can we make to improve? I mean, as I said, realistically, a right back that is versatile and a winger that can play on both wings. It doesn't matter who they are, it doesn't matter how good they are, as long as they show promise and as long as they can play and are healthy. and are healthy. That's the key part. Ah! I still expect a Gnabry goal, actually, funny enough. Because Gnabry usually scores against London teams, teams from London. He usually scores against them, just so he could be, just so he could be at home later on and be like, London is red. That's why I fully expect him to score, just so he can tweet that out later. With a picture of him scoring and being like, London is red. I expect that from him, which is why I expect him to score. That's the story for this game. I came in late, that's fine. My lips are actually drying up, if you guys can't tell. They're generally very dry lips. I haven't been able to buy lip balm in quite a while now because... Not from that angle. Not from that angle. You're not beating Neuer from that angle. Okay. But they did have a chance. They are going for it, which... But yeah, my lips are drying up because I'm speaking too fast and too much. I'm a fast speaker. I can be the slowest speaker in the world, and I can also be the fastest speaker in the world. I'm just weird like that. When I put emphasis on something, I slow down. I'm like, haha, yeah. Let me emphasize my words. But like in general, I'm just like, blah, 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 blah. Oh, they're going for it. No, Boateng. Don't let him get closer. Kimi, watch the side. Ah, Thiago. They're going for it. I don't... We are struggling at the moment. We are struggling, it seems like, at the moment. I want them to go for... I want Chelsea to go for it, yes. But, like, we are not containing them at all. Let's see how long Chelsea can sustain that. I think maybe like 5 to 10 minutes at most, and then I think we should be fine. I mean, 5 minutes has been up now, so I guess 10 minutes. But yeah, we're trying to slow it down, and Chelsea's trying to speed it up. But we're also going for it because they're leaving spaces behind, putting all the men forward. It's always that one touch. If Gnabry had just a... if Gnabry's shoe size was like one size bigger, he would have probably gotten to that ball. Kimmich is so far forward. Like, it seems like we're playing free at the back at the moment because Kimmich is so far forward. I still don't see him in now. I see him on the screen. He's like so far forward from all the rest of this team that he's just like, Kimmich, mate, you played as a right back today, from. But oh well. Oh well. Oh well. Yeah, you can definitely see that we're trying to slow it down right there. Especially Kimmich is trying to like take the stinger out of the game, which is fine. You know, we are 5-1 up on aggregate, so it's fine. I would much rather see us go for it a little bit more. Now they're pressing us a lot. They can't sustain it, that's a good thing. They can't like keep that up for more than, say, 20 minutes or 30 minutes. And I don't think they're going to score 4 goals this half. Alright, there goes our counter. There goes our counter. Goretzka. Oh, Müller. Müller was free. We're too slow in the transition. Too slow. We just allowed him to reform right now. Too slow. Alright. Alright. Get a good cross into the box. That's not a good cross. That's not a good cross. Müller, Kimmich. Yeah, they have too many. Thiago. Thiago hasn't had a good second half so far. He hasn't had a good second half so far. I've noticed that a few. That was a risky challenge by Boateng. Like if he got that wrong, that could have been easily a yellow or red. Sliding in tackle, not chuckle. Who do we have on the bench? I'm not sure who we have on the bench right now, but I would want to see us maybe like 5 to 10 minutes do a substitution. Davis, Thiago, nice. That's ball play. Yeah, okay. Lewandowski. Come on, Davies. Ah! Close but no cigar. Davies is the one player I want to really see score. He deserves it. The way he's been playing this season, he deserves it more than anyone. LFC Aaron, well, thank you again. Lewandowski reminds me of a Liverpool player at a group watching named Ian Rush. The resemblance are uncanny, two fantastic strikers. Well, well, I can't really say I watched Ian Rush play. I've only heard how good he was. But that's high praise. Considering I know how much Liverpool fans love Ian Rush. Right? Yeah. For a second, I was doubting myself. I was like, Liverpool fans or Arsenal fans? Because obviously, you know, but Liverpool fans, obviously. Considering how high the praise is for Ian Rush, you know, that's big praise. So, I think Lewandowski is well deserved of that praise. I know a lot of people always say that. The argument is always that Lewandowski has it easy. Yeah, the argument is always that that you know he has it easy because the team is basically built that well, and he can just score goals because the team is centered on him. I think that's always a bad argument because most teams most teams try to be a good team, and hence every striker in theory should have it easy, but that's not the case. I would argue Lewandowski had it especially hard when Robin and Ribery were playing, because Robin wouldn't give him the ball. There was kind of like a rivalry between them two because they had like this not argument, but like they had like this thing where like Robin often wouldn't pass him the ball, and Lewandowski would be like, "Well, you don't give me the ball," and Lewandowski oftentimes then wouldn't give the ball back to Robin, and it was just kind of like a back and forth like that. But like I think now the team is a lot more of a team. A lot more of a team. And I love Robin, alright? Robin, one of my favorite players of all times, and obviously Ribery, you can see I've got a poster of Ribery right there. So I'm not taking anything away from them. But yeah, that's just a bad argument in my opinion. You're confusing Ian Wright and Ian Rush, probably. Yeah, that's probably what it is. That's probably what it is, honestly. I do watch the Premier League a lot. I have to say, obviously I live in the UK, so I watch the Premier League a lot. And I do watch a lot of like the fun channels, because they're like, I'm not invested. I'm not emotionally invested into the teams, and I just kind of like pick up a lot of things. And I watch football for the entertainment value, but not so much for the emotional value when I watch like the Premier League clubs. So like all these names are just in my head. I'm just like, oh yeah, I've heard of that name before. Oh yeah, I know who that is. So that's why I just get quite easily confused when it comes to teams that I don't follow, that I watch quite often but don't follow attentively, I guess, if you want to call it that. Like right now, for example, I'm watching Bayern, and I'm seeing exactly where they're positioned. I'm seeing exactly like which players are playing quote unquote out of position, or which players are switching sides, because I know where they usually play and I know what they usually do, so I can kind of tell right away what they're doing different, I guess. Whereas I don't really have that was a poor touch, but I don't really have that with like other teams, obviously. So it's a lot more difficult to notice things easily unless I actually focus on it, and I don't really like focusing on football as much anymore as I used to when I was much younger. When I was much younger, I used to analyze games a lot more because I thought I could become a coach. I thought I could become a manager and manage my own team. So I was a lot more interested in like formations, into pockets of the game and half spaces, as well as transitions, as well as as well as a lot more things like that. So I paid a lot more attention to why things are working. You know, first of all, what is working and why things are working. But nowadays, unless it's like Bayern playing, I don't really focus on anything of that sort. Hey, that's just the way I see it. It's so weird. They move and finish the same way. Boateng is down, seemingly. Okay. I gotta go now, bro. Thanks for the stream. Yay. Ben Loud, thank you very much for stopping by. Oh, don't tell me Boateng has a... Ben Loud, thank you very much for hopping by on the stream. Good luck with, you know, your season, next season. I'll be honest, I don't think you guys can turn this game around. I think at this point, you've lost this specific game, this tie, I guess. But regardless, good luck on your season, next season. Oh, Boateng is down. Oh. This is frustrating. Bayern and injuries. That was a bad landing. I hope it's nothing. I hope it's nothing too serious. Like the second Sula and Lucas Hernandez come back, Boateng, who's been having such a fantastic season, he's now injured. I think he just landed wrong, but I don't know whether he like landed wrong in the case where, you know, his muscles kind of spasmed, or whether he just like landed wrong and it just hurts him. Yeah, Sula is coming on. Figured. Score prediction for City versus Lyon. 1-0 City. They're helping him up. Can he put weight on his legs? Okay, he can walk. He's limping, but he can still walk. He can put weight on his legs. He's hurt. All right, he's hurt. Which, you know, doesn't sound good, but like he's hurt. He's not injured, it seems like. Now they're helping him off. Now I'm worried. This is tugging at my heartstrings. This is tugging at away at my heartstrings. I hope the best for him. He's had a very, very good season. Like last season, you know, the whole talk was like he doesn't even want to play football anymore. What's he doing at Bayern? Even Uli Hoeneß was saying, yeah, if I was, you know, if I was as a friend of Boateng, I would tell him to seek a new club and seek a new challenge, because it just seems like he doesn't put in the effort anymore. And then like the second flick came, like revitalized his career. He's suddenly, you know, looking the same way that he used to look when he was a lot more serious with football, quote unquote, as the tabloids and whatnot would say. You know, that he's switching over to now his image and focusing on that rather than football. This season he just looked absolutely spectacular, and now is he? Oh, he's coming back. Okay. Good. Later, everyone. Good luck with the channel and winning the Champions League. Thank you very much, LFC Aaron. Have a nice evening, or I'm assuming you're in the UK just because of LFC, but that's a bad argument to make considering, you know, I'm called Bayernfantv and I'm in the UK. But yeah, have a nice day/evening. And until next time. Alright, good thing is Boateng. That thing had me worried. That thing seriously had me worried for a little bit, that Boateng was potentially injured, so that's good. That's good that he's not. He's still in the game, you know. He doesn't... No, I'm just going to focus a little... well, he's out of the picture now. I was going to say, I'm just going to focus a little bit on Boateng now and see whether he is limp... Oh, Miller! Oh! Miller! If anyone was going to score that, I was certain that was going to be you. Müller. That should he scores that 9 times out of 10. Just happens that today is that one time where he doesn't score it. Shame. It's a shame. It's a shame. It's a shame. Bit frustrating, but the signs are good. We are going for it. We're attacking. We're looking like we still want to score, and I'm all for that. You know, we're not taking a passive approach, which I think is the wrong approach. And Chelsea, they can't really keep that press up anymore as well. So Everything's going well. Coutinho's about to come on, I'm assuming, for Perisic. He hit his hand, not his head. Alright. Alright. Hurts. Hurts, I can understand that. Hurts. Especially from that range. Like there's a massive difference, like, between, like, you know, if you're expecting something to happen and when you're not expecting something to happen. He wasn't expecting the ball to hit his hand. He's like, oh, it just hits. Whereas, like, usually, like, it's not doing anything. That's bouncing right off. Wasn't the case here. I think Thomas Müller is actually one goal away from being number 11 on the all-time Champions League. He's one goal away from being number 11 on the all-time Champions League goal scored. I think he's. So I read something like that earlier on Twitter. I'm always on Twitter, but like I always just like skim through things. Actually, Sule is coming on for Boateng, and Coutinho is coming on for who I'm assuming is Perisic. No number has been put up yet for Perisic. Okay, so both of them are coming on. Perisic, he scored the goal. Besides that, I can't really say he had a good game, but like he scored the goal. That's more than enough. And Boateng had a good game and struggled a little bit second half, granted, you know, when he started pressing it early second half, but like besides that, he's had a very solid game, so I can't really fault him either. Coutinho's coming on. Let's see how Coutinho does it, if he's gonna have a good game or a bad game. Let's see. Let us see how Coutinho does. Nice! Nice! Quick! Lewandowski! Alright. Play to the other wing. Kimmich is free. Okay, Coutinho on the ball. He's probably going to take a shot knowing Coutinho. Or not! He's passing it! Not Davis! Oh! I like it though. I like it though. We're going for it and I'm all for it. We're going for it and I'm all for it. Pun 100% intended. Yeah, I think this game is over. I think this game is over. Twitter stats are unmatched. Absolutely, absolutely. Twitter stats are the new meta. No. Good. Keep the pressing up. Good. Keep Sule. His first interaction. Good. Clean. Good. Continue. Quick. Nobody else. Nobody's on the flanks. Gnabry, go to the flanks. Lewandowski, you're going to take a shot from there? I'd say go for it. No, Gnabry. Ah! It's the final ball. The final ball was better. We could have... if the final ball all game today was better, we could have scored easily another 2 or 3 goals. But the final ball has been lacking. I know we scored 2 goals already, but the final ball has been lacking. So that's still something that we can improve upon, which is good. It's good seeing things like that where like we're doing good. It's just the final ball... that we're behind. My stream is behind, but ooh, Super Sule is back. Yes, most certainly. Which stream do you mean? Is it your football stream or this stream? Kimmich. Müller! Oh! Oh! I thought Lewandowski scored there. Real talk. I thought football, watching a beat sport. Alright, fair enough. I thought Lewandowski... I'll be honest. I thought that goal went... I thought that went in. Nah, looking at it now, it's actually a... Handball? Nah, it was actually hit his chest. Okay. Okay. I thought, like, he actually scored there, to be completely honest. Nah, the angle tricked me. Alright, but let's get some corners. We're terrible at corners. Like, generally, when we get a corner, I'm like, we're not going to score. We just that's one thing that we've been terrible at all season, and we haven't improved at all. We have tall players, but we have players that are good. Thiago, the one player that is not really gonna score. Oh man, we're getting closer. We're getting closer and closer. Closer and closer. First Thiago, then Alaba. We're getting closer, but we're not close, but no cigar. The fact that Thiago got the ball, right? One of our smallest players and one of the weakest players that we have in the air. He got the ball. I mean, granted, the ball kind of landed on his feet, but still. Easily could be. I don't know about 6-0. Nah, not 6-0. Maybe with the chances that we're having in the second half, it could have been. Nah, even that is going a bit too far. I did think we'd be a little bit more aggressive, so... yeah, I think we played good enough, but I don't think I quite 6-0. Maybe I was a bit too overconfident. Oh, Goretzka! Oh, close. Which area do you think is our biggest weakness and how would you improve it? I mean, I kind of just alluded to it. Tolisso is also about to come in, by the way. I kind of alluded to it just now. I think corners. Like we are actually terrible at corners. I don't know when it was, but I did read a stat. It must have been like 4 or 5 months ago or something like that. But I did read a stat where we had like the most corners in the Bundesliga, but I think we scored like the least from corners in the Bundesliga. It was something like that at one point. I don't know whether that's still the case or not, but like every time we get a corner, I'm like, we're not gonna score. Like we just don't score from corners. And I think if we improve that, like just to the point where like, you know, we score a corner, we score from a corner like say every 4 corners or every 5 corners, I think we would have easily another 20 goals to our season, but we don't. Defensively, I think we're solid defensively. I mean, he could score 5 goals in 10 minutes. Wouldn't be his first time doing it. I mean, yeah, sure, yeah, sure. It would be 9 minutes, not 10 minutes. But I mean, yeah, that's not gonna happen. That was a freak. That was a freak occurrence. All right, the 5 goal in 9 minutes. That was insanity. Absolute insanity. And you know what? I'm glad it only happened once. I'm glad it only happened because if it happened too much, I would have been like, it's not that special. But that was the craziest thing in a long time that I've seen. The 5 goals in 9 minutes against Wolfsburg. Corner. Not corner, free kick. I don't think they're going to score though. Yeah. I didn't think they were going to score. Neuer rarely gets called out from a corner. Granted, he rarely ever makes a mistake as well, and he made one today, but like him getting caught out from a corner, I just don't see. So, Odriozola and Tolisso are coming on. Tolisso's coming on for Thiago and Odriozola is coming on for Kimmich, which makes sense. Kimmich is on a yellow card already, so that makes sense, that substitution. Alright. So, here's the thing. Odriozola has been quite poor. He's been so bad that like people said that we should just play without a right back instead of him. I think it's a little bit harsh, but I get the sentiment, right? I get that he hasn't had a good time at Bayern so far. Like, he's looked very, very, very average. I would just go as far as say he looked quite bad. But I know it's only 20 minutes, but I hope I hope he has a good game so he can prove people wrong. And Tolisso's also coming on, which is great. He's been out for a long time. I'm just happy. Like, our squad is coming back. I know Boateng, that's why I was so worried about Boateng. Like, our squad is slowly but surely coming back, and usually they always get injured during this crucial period of the season. It seems like now they're actually coming back in this crucial period of the season, so who knows? Who knows? Nice. Come on, forward. Nice. Goretzka's not gonna win a battle of a race. If you want him to push through someone, I'm like, yeah, he can do that now. To Coutinho. Woo! Alright. Not too far away. Generally, he always takes those shots. Not too far away. But. Alright, alright. That would have been a goal, though. That would have been a goal. I'd rather bring Richards in and put him right back as opposed to Odriozola. That's kind of what I mean. That's kind of what I mean. That's kind of what I mean. Like Odriozola has not had a good time at Bayern, but he'll do fine. He'll do fine. All right, he'll do fine. I know he's only a loan for the season, so let's just hope that he has a good remainder of his time at Bayern. Don't let him shoot. Nah. Okay. Chelsea, they're having shots now. They're having shots now. Not all on target, granted, but they have been looking. If they played this half, if they played the first half like they have been playing the second half, then straight up, this game could have been much closer. This game could have been much closer, but they didn't. They're much further up, which also means that we should be able to attack them much better, but we just don't. I want to say we don't have the pace up front, but we do on the right. Not on the left where Coutinho is, but on the right with Gnabry. On the left, we do have it also with Davis, but obviously Davis' main task right now is defending. Which is why I wouldn't have actually been against him playing left wing. Corner for Chelsea. They're getting their chance and they're getting their corners. They're getting their chances and they're getting their corners. So, here's my thing. We're not gonna get knocked out. I'm confident in saying that. I'm confident in saying that we've done the job and we're now headed to the next round. But I don't want to lose this game either. I don't want to lose this game either. I want to straight up win this game. And because Chelsea are now attacking us so much, I just wish like Coutinho is running quite healthily. Okay, that's good. But yeah, I want to win this game. I don't see why there should be any reason why we should lose this game. We're still winning. No, I want to win this game straight up. I want us to score another 2 or 3 goals. Because I think our play deserves it. Ultimately, I think our play, the way we've played, deserves it. Davis seems to have moved over to the right wing, to the right back, not left back, which is kind of weird. Okay, now he's going back to the left. Like he was on the right, he was playing as like a right back for like the last good solid 4 minutes or so. The commentator is just saying exactly what I'm saying right now. Like, they're listening to me. They're listening to me. Like, okay, what was he saying? Ah, okay, he's saying that. Okay, let me say that myself. Get him! Tolisso. And guess who was involved again? Lewandowski. Guess who was involved again? We've now scored 6 goals against Chelsea in throughout the 2 games, and Lewandowski, as someone so lovely mentioned earlier, Lewandowski has been involved in every single one. 3-1, Tolisso scores after being out for so long. He is back, baby. He is back, baby. Continue with the pre-assist. Lewandowski now with his left foot. Let's get it right. Left foot. I know he's right-footed, and Tolisso puts it in. Good stuff. Great stuff. Grand stuff. Fantastic stuff. That's a great goal. That's actually a great goal. I'm happy for Tolisso. I am happy for. I have no idea what he's saying. He was doing the whatever he was doing there. It's kind of celebration. I have no idea what all that means. All right. I have no idea what all that means. But hey, I'm happy for you, bro. I'm happy for Tolisso, straight up. Another goal contribution for Levy. Exactly what I was saying. Exactly what I was saying. That it might have been you that said it earlier. That Lewandowski has been involved in every single goal against Chelsea so far, in the first leg and in this leg. And I was just saying that as well. That that you mentioned that earlier, or someone mentioned that earlier, and it's true again. It's true again. Involved in every single goal. That's the I ain't leaving. I hope he ain't leaving. I like Tolisso. I very much like Tolisso as a player. And I think if Thiago leaves this season, which I think is pretty much guaranteed at this point, I think Tolisso will have an even bigger role. I think Tolisso will have an even bigger role in the squad. Obviously, he's been injured this season, so he didn't really have much of a role this season. But I think he'll have an even bigger role, and he'll be required to hold even more leadership for the team this season, next season. Sorry, once Thiago leaves. My left ear right now is like shut off. I feel like I'm underwater, so I'm like trying to. Yeah, that did the trick. That did the trick. Okay, should have just done that from the get-go. We're doing a lot of good runs. We're actually doing a lot of good. Lewandowski made a fantastic run there. Coutinho didn't see him. That's a shame. That's a ball that Coutinho could play because Coutinho is that good on the ball. That was most certainly a run. Uh-oh. Good. Muller. Good. Keep pressing. Good. Alright. The free curse is real for Chelsea, most certainly. The London memes write themselves. Yeah. I fully expect Gnabry to get a goal. I fully expect Gnabry to get a goal in this game. Just so he can, like, later on, you know, we're all waiting for it. Just so later on, he can be on like Twitter or Instagram, like ha 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 ha. Yes, London is red. Ha 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 ha. I fully expect Gnabry to score a goal, just so he can write that. All right, don't let them have a corner. Tolisso will be needed if Thiago leaves, because Swanson fine will need time. Precisely. Croissant has played good this season when he's played, but like he's not a regular. Yeah, like he's not good enough to be a regular starter of anything of that sort. Like he'll probably be like the first midfield or second midfield substitution, depending on obviously how we play, who plays, and so on and so, and injuries and so on and so forth. He will get his time, but he won't obviously be a starter. Javi is coming out. I love Javi. One of our most underrated players, Javi, because because we're playing completely different than how we used to play, and we don't really need his role has kind of been diminished, but whenever he comes on, I still very much love how he plays. He always gives everything for the team. I'm always happy for it. I'm always happy when I see him, and it might be his final season. That was a poor pass. Gnabry, what was that? Yeah. That was a shot to the moon. That was a shot to the moon. Maybe on the moon you'll find Neil Armstrong and his flag. And maybe on the moon you'll also find the ball that Ramos shot there. So Gnabry is coming off and Javi is coming on. That's an interesting substitution. So who's playing? Interesting. I mean, we don't really have any wingers, but still. So no Instagram post. Well, there'll probably still be a Twitter and Instagram post, I guess, but no post from Gnabry. Maybe not. Maybe not. Who knows? There might still be a post from Gnabry, but maybe not. Who knows? Martinez plus Rino was an amazing midfield. Shame he spent most of the time. Yeah, exactly. It's time with us, deputy in centre back, and injured as well. And injured. Giroud is on. I actually really like Giroud as a player. I think he's very much underrated. I think people don't give him the credit that he deserves. But I wouldn't say like he's world class. I wouldn't say he's like world class or anything like that. I think he's just a very solid striker. But because he's not flashy or anything of that sort, people don't value and rate him as high as they perhaps should. Odriozola. Alright, let's see Odriozola. I'm just hoping the best for Odriozola. I just want him to have a good game, honestly. I mean, he hasn't really done anything this game. Not in a negative or positive sense. He's just been kind of there since he was introduced. So I'm okay with that. Just not a bad game. Just not a bad game. All right, Odriozola doing an amazing cross right now to Lewandowski. Great cross, great. Coutinho's gonna shoot. Of course, Coutinho's gonna shoot. What else is he gonna do? What else is he gonna do? You saw Davies doing a run on the left. What else is he gonna do? Do you think he's gonna pass to Davies to make the run? Nah, he's gonna shoot. Nah, he's gonna shoot. Levy. Ah! Giving the eyes. Corner. Good. Corner. Good. Not like we're going to score from the corner. Not like we're going to score from the corner. That's not going to happen. But still, good. 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 We're taking a short corner instead. Sula just takes a straight up shot. That was probably meant to be a cross, granted. But he took a straight up shot. Okay. Okay, the way he took that shot was just looked so odd. Ooh. Davies. I like how we like putting the pressure on them right now. It's very good to see that we're like 82nd minutes, yeah, and we're still going for it. We're still trying our best. I always like seeing that. It's a team giving it their all from minute 1 to minute 90. Kimmich! Let's go! Let's go! No, not Kimmich. Of course. Is it Lewandowski? Yes, it's Lewandowski. Of course it's Lewandowski. Who else but Lewandowski? Who else but Lewandowski? 7 goals against Chelsea, and he's contributed to every single one. 7 goals against Chelsea, and he's contributed to every single one. Also, massive shout out to Odriozola. Great cross. Great cross. Lewandowski just pow! Boom, boom, pow! Gonna get that boom, boom. Great goal. Are we gonna get one more goal for the 5-1? Ooh. Are we gonna get one more goal for the 5-1? Who knows? Who knows? Oh, I like seeing that though. I like seeing that though. The team, as I was just saying, from minute 1 to minute 90, we're doing well. We're playing well. We're looking good. We're playing good. We're just going for it. And it seems like we're going for it even now. 4-1 up, 7-1 in aggregate, and we're still going up for it. Let's go. 13 goals in 7 matches, Lewandowski. 13 goals in 7 matches, ladies and gentlemen. 13 goals. That's the Ballon d'Or. Yes. Yes. Guaranteed winner. Guaranteed winner. He would have been the guaranteed winner. But no, they had to cancel it this year. Don't even get me started with that again. Don't even get me started with. I don't care about individual prizes, but like that one. I hate injustice. Injustice anywhere is... Well, how does that quote go? No justice anywhere is injustice everywhere. Something like that. I don't know, alright? I don't know how that goes, but damn it. But damn it. Something like that. 53. What? 53 what? 53 goals? Racking up that tally. Racking up that tally. I do want a Müller goal, though. I'll be honest, I do want a Müller goal just because he's so close to being a top 10 of all-time champ. Oh, Davies! Nah, he can't get that. He's fast, but he's not that fast. Yeah, 85th minute. Oh, there's no way Odriozola is going to get to that. 85th minute, and we're still going for it. I am so happy for it. I'm so happy. Lewandowski with 3 goals and 4 assists against Chelsea over 2 games. That is absolutely maddening. Don't you football? Don't you love it? Don't you love it? It's absolutely brilliant. Football in all levels. Football is always absolutely brilliant. How can you not love this beautiful game? Levy will be Golden Boot and Ballon d'Or in my heart this season. Absolutely. The history books may not show it, but Lewandowski will, for all of us, be the best player this season. And then people are probably going to make an argument that Kevin De Bruyne should be there as well, which is a fair argument to make, but I don't think he's... I don't think, by any stretch of the imagination, that Kevin De Bruyne should be above Lewandowski this season. I think he should be in the top 3. I don't think he should be number 1. I think Lewandowski is it should be a clear number 1 if Ballon d'Or was made this year. He is still not the best player award. If he wins, I'm counting it as a well. Fair enough. Fair enough. UEFA's best. I think that's what it's called. They'll find a way to screw him over as well, trust. Trust. They'll find a way to screw him over as well. They'll be like, well, but you're a striker. That's all there is to it. You're a striker. They're going to come up with something like, strikers can't win it this season. It will be a different position. Bayern looking good, though. Bayern looking good, though. Yes, we conceded a goal, which I would have liked to avoid, but Bayern is looking good. They're looking sharp. Which the worry, of course, was, our Bundesliga campaign finished. Are we going to look sharp? We're looking sharp. Watch out. Süle, watch out. Odriozola. Good. Süle, well done. Well done. Quick. Come on, Müller. Go forward. I want another goal. Nobody else is forward, so that's not really going to work. Alright. Kevin has done an amazing season, but Levy's been better than... Yeah. I don't think there is a better way to describe it than you just did, Alex, though. I don't think there is a better way to describe it than you just did. Lewandowski has had an incredible season this season. Sublime season. Superb season. Flawless season. Call it what you want. He's had that kind of season. Tomorrow I'm gonna have to buy newspapers tomorrow just to see what people are saying. I always do that, right? After like a Champions League game, after Bayern beats, especially an English team, or Bayern does like something amazing in the Champions League, I always have to like go out and be like, I'm gonna buy some newspapers just to see what just to see what the public is saying. Uh oh. Okay, I think he should. Okay, Davis is just tired. Okay, he's just stretching his legs. Okay, I was worried there for a second that he was injured. Please don't be injured. Please don't be injured. I think he's just stretching. Like 88th minute, he just ran, makes. Yeah, okay, he's on his feet. Okay, no, they're just putting some ice on it. Okay, good. Okay, good. I love it when people praise that. I do that too. Yeah. Have to. You have to. Mega bust. Hazard or Griezmann? Hazard. Hazard has had an abysmal season this season. For the price that they paid, he's had a terrible season this season. I could make the argument that, Bale has had a much worse season than either of those, but he's not a new signing, yes, but yeah. But Bale has had a terrible season. He's been playing... His golf season must have been amazing. His golf season must have been out of this world, to be completely honest. You could probably go be a professional golfer at this point. Alright, Davies is about to come back on. Good, he's not injured. That's all I care about at the moment. Not picking up any injuries. Not picking up in 2 minutes of added time. Alright, good. 2 minutes at a time. 2 minutes. Seems like a 4-1 victory will be our victory against Chelsea. First a 3-0 and now a 4-1. So may argue it's the same score. Considering that they scored at the Allianz Arena, I would say most certainly not. They've had a much better performance this time than they did in London. Alright, high foot. High foot! High foot! High foot! I also had some bets on this game. I can't remember what I bet on it. I can't remember what I bet on this game. I know one bet was like a 6-0 victory, but I had some other bets, like some crazy long shot bets. I think one of them was like Bayern to score 2 goals in the first half and have 5 corners in the first half, something like that. I don't know. Like some crazy like long shot bet where I like put like 10 pence on, and like if that happens, I'd get like 500. Those kind of bets, but I think none of them happened. Also, how's the other game looking? Someone let me know. How's the other game looking? Is the Napoli vs Barcelona game over? What's the score in that game? Come on. One last chance. One last chance, team. Play it forward. Play it forward. One last chance. Let's have one more goal in the last minute of the game. Goretzka. Miller. Goretzka! Ah, just a tiny bit too much. I think Barca is winning 3-1. Alright, thank you very much. Thank you very much. I'd go with Griezmann. Barca's transfer policy has been terrible. Griezmann has operated in a 2-month striker formation and he's been... The game is over. Ladies and gentlemen, the game is over. The game is over. The game has been played. The game is over. We have won 7-1 on aggregate. 7-1 on aggregate. And Lewandowski has been involved every single goal. He's been involved in every single goal. Let me switch over to just to see how their game is going. The Barcelona, 86 minutes, so they're 4 minutes behind, and it's 3-1 to Barcelona. Insigne scored a penalty. Interesting. So it's 4-2. Okay. All right. Barcelona is basically through. Napoli's not going to score another 2 goals. That's not going to happen. Napoli has not played bad, just dug themselves too big a hole. And that's my Polish perfectionist. Alright. Well, let me pause. Let me mute that game because, quite frankly, we did good. We did good. We're through. I should be celebrating. Yay. But I mean, we all knew we were going to go through. I think most of us didn't expect us. This was just kind of like a job done. Now, that's what it is to me. It was just like a job done kind of thing where it's like, okay, we need to do the job today. And that's exactly what we did. We only 3-0 up, so I can't really say it was a big surprise or anything of that sort. It was just a very, very solid performance from us. And I'm always happy with very, very solid performances from us because at the end of the day, you know, yeah, our season ended like a month ago. And yes, I know we had a friendly game, you know, in that period of time, but our season still ended a month ago. So I was always going to be worried and cautious to how are we going to play once we get back into football. And that's exactly how we did. That's exactly how we played once we got back into football. So I'm happy with how the game turned out. Ultimately, I'm also happy with how we seemingly go for it. At, you know, even in like the last minute, we still go for it from minute 1 till minute 90. Some could have argued, yeah, we should play defensive. We're already winning 3-0. There's no reason for us to attack. We didn't do that. We attacked. We went for it from the get-go. And I'm all for it. I'm here for that. I'm here for that. I'm here for that. I want to see us do well. I want to see us go for it, and I don't want to see us take it easy. And I'm so happy that the team is focused. The team is hungry. The team wants to go for it, and the team likes to show the world how good they are. All these factors combined just makes for a very good squad, a very, very good individual players, but also a very good squad overall. And I like seeing the unity from the teams as well. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you everyone who joined on this watch along. I will most certainly try and do more of these in the future. It always just depends on time. Time is always one of those things. But I'll be seeing you all later with my post-match review. I'll probably gonna take a little while with that. Just gonna get myself something to eat before all the shops close, and I'll see you all then. Thank you everyone who joined, and see you then. Peace out. GG stream. Peace out, and have a nice day. Bye. Or have a nice evening. Bye. See ya.